Well, greetings and salutations, Tarnished. Welcome back once again for the very first time to the Farts and Crap Show, where today, as per usual, it's your host Danjo here with another Elden Ring video, kind of as a follow-up to the previous one that I did, because, yeah, I wanted to make a few of these kind of, you have the controller, please. Uh, talking about some of the challenge runs that I've really enjoyed, and wanted to share them with you in a quick little video, kind of showcasing what they're about. So if you want to try it at home, go right on ahead. But yeah, this one I call the Wretched Noob run. Now, come on. Come on. Thank you. Now here are the rules. Not very many rules, but they are pretty big ones. So rule number 1, it has to be a new game, new character, and you have to start as the Wretch. Rule number 2, no vendor or merchant items or equipment. Now, actually I said that wrong. No vendor/merchant items or equipment. Now, what this means, essentially, you could even leave like the equipment thing off there. You cannot buy items from merchants. Also, any boss weapons, any kind of remembrance items, nope, nothing like that. And anything you acquire from merchant, basically. The only exception is blacksmith upgrades are okay. So if you do want to acquire the bell bearings, so you can buy smithing stones from the twin husks, go right ahead. That's totally fine. And if you want to upgrade your equipment, totally fine. Yeah, the ore equipment thing, basically just you can't buy weapons, you can't buy armor, anything like that you're going to have to acquire via quest rewards, static pickups, or random drops from enemies. Now, yeah, quest rewards are fine as long as they're free. Now, sometimes when you complete a quest, it will unlock a new purchasable item from a character, but as long as it has a cost to it, if it's anything above 0, you can't acquire it. Okay. Now, no spirit ashes, so no summons, no help of any kind, which also means no multiplayer. Because this is a challenge run, you wouldn't do multiplayer anyway, but I just wanted to clarify on that point. Yeah, no summons, no multiplayer. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Now, very simple rules, actually achieving, I never play as the guy. I'll play as the guy, sure, why not? I'm gonna call him Gurf. And actually no, let me see what some of the origins look like. Oh no, not origins, sorry. Template? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, freaking. He looks like what's his name in the show? Derry. He looks like Derry from Letterkenny. What is that? Draconian? Huh. Nightfolk, alright. And the hair on the Newman. Yeah, I don't really care. I kind of like the Seafarer look, actually. Truth Seeker ain't bad either. The Seafarer. I'm just gonna change the hair real quick, because I don't really care about everything else. Actually, the hair's fine. It's totally fine. Kind of a, got got a Jeremiah Johnson kind of vibe going on. Alright, finish. Yep. Hello. Hi. Cat's like, what are you doing? You recording? Cool. Making a video? Alright. What's it about? So you're playing Elden Ring. That's pretty tight. Anyway. The Ring. Not the movie. And this game's good. Every time I start this game, like especially lately, I haven't played much of this for quite some time. But I did a lot of challenge runs on stream. So, yeah. You guys see me streaming Elden Ring. Pretty likely that's what I'm doing. Because I haven't streamed Elden Ring for like 2 or 3 months now. Come on, stop. Alright, there we go. Come on, get down please. Come on. Need my headphones on. I need my headphones on, okay? Like, no, fuck that. I'm way cooler. I'm a cat. Everybody wants to be a cat, motherfucker. Yeah, so... Because if you're not used to playing the game, like, with, like, restrictions, it's very different doing this kind of run. Because, you may not be, like, constantly thinking about, oh, you get this item from this person, or you get this from this, and you get this from this. Because a lot of the best equipment in the game is, yeah, like you purchase it from NPCs, you know? So you can't do that in this run. So there's a few things I recommend right off the bat. And there's a few things I recommend in general, just playing as a wretch. Oh wait, no, whoops. Let's get rid of that. How do we do that? There we go. Couple things off the bat. You can take out Vare if you want to. That's like totally optional, but it is like kind of worthwhile. But yeah, if you start as a wretch, it's not like the easiest fight right off the bat. Neither is the tree sentinel, so I don't usually bother him. Usually try to make sure I'm stocked up on Roa fruit. It's because I like to be nice to Torrent. Of course, I'm not going to talk to Vare because I can't do anything there. The one other exception I would probably make to this rule set is you can't purchase anything, right, from merchants and such. However, if you want to do the option to sell things to merchants, that seems totally fine. You don't typically get that much anyway. And again, the one guy who's the exception is the blacksmith. And it is a lot faster to get runes from, or let's say, what do they call them? Golden runes? Consumable runes, whatever. It's a lot faster just to sell in bulk rather than use them. So yeah, I would say that. Like, the blacksmith in general, he is the exception. I don't think he sells equipment anyway. It's just like upgrades and stuff. I was really hoping one of these guys would drop like a sword or like armor. Getting bolt and smithing stones. Yep. Got a bunch of bolts and no crossbow. But yeah, immediately I would, just get Torrent first, basically. I'm just going up here just to avoid the other guards at the entrance. Of course, definitely grab the whetstone blade. I was just going to wait to do that till I have Torrent. Yeah, a lot of these guys just kind of, their defenses just kind of crumble. You just keep attacking. This is definitely an upgrade here. Lordsworn Greatsword, much better melee weapon than the club. However, I think it has, 16 strength requirement, so... And our back is ripped. It's probably all that seafaring we've been doing. Can you get down, please? I need my headphones on, thank you. Helena shows up, she's like, oh.
Have you heard? They serve, but you
hey.
turning room to 80.
How's it going?
Then it's settled. Summon me. I
Yep.
It will some Torrent to treat him with.
I will treat him with respect, thank you. Alright. So, a few other things real quick. I typically put the torrent whistle up here. But I'm going to go around and get some free stuff real quick. Free stuff that is going to be very helpful. So if you jump this little wall, you don't have to jump it, you can just go around, but it's just a little bit faster to do it that way. There we go, whetstone knife. Now we can apply Ashes of War, which is going to be very helpful here in a little bit. And these guys, I'm just going to run from them because I don't want to start. Oh, guff. I know, that was a double negative. It would literally mean I do want to start guff. I do not. And besides, it's pronounced Gurf. He's getting started. He's getting started. Anyway, quite a few things I would recommend grabbing in Limgrave off the bat. Material leaf, yeah, whatever. It's not going to come in handy for a while. And it is nighttime, so it's going to be a little bit more dangerous around here. I don't care about that one. He drops something. It's not something I care about. Ow. Lucky shot. I forgot about this. Totally forgot that was there. Yep, he'll lose interest. Don't worry about it. And we're just going to keep riding past Waypoint Ruins because there's a thing. Oh, I just passed him. Yep. This guy. He always drops a glintstone staff. And it has very low requirements. I think you can use it immediately, because you have 10 on all of your... The Wretched is metric. We have base 10 on everything. Alright. Go, and... I'm not going to get that up there because that is for selling. And selling requires payment, thereby making her a merchant. But that's not why I'm coming over here. I'm coming over here for the free runes, because the first couple levels are going to be very simple. Oh, come on. Torrent. Thank you. Thankfully these wolves haven't really decided if I'm an enemy or not. There we go. Alright. And I'm just gonna run away because I don't usually fight the wildlife in this game. Because there's no reason to. Oh yeah, and when this effect is happening, by the way, there's just like little gold specks everywhere. You actually get more runes from enemies. Pretty sure that's the effect that's going on. Should be able to jump that, no problem. Yeah. Just we're still kind of in combat right now, and I need to not be in combat in order to fast travel. Oh, there is a Spirit Spring jump. Okay. That's what that is. Yeah, I forgot that was there. Okay. So I could have just jumped straight down there from up here. Gotcha. Okay. I do believe there's a free... Yeah, there's an item up there. Don't remember what it is, but it might be worth it. Golden rune. It's pretty risky at the moment. Alright, the other thing I would recommend right at the beginning of the game is go grab the Flask of Wondrous Physic. In case you guys are unfamiliar, it's basically off to the east a little bit in the Mistwood. So you kind of just find the road, and you just kind of go east and downhill for a while. Another Site of Grace. Hit that just in case we die. And yeah, it would have been great to get some armor or like a sword from those knights, guards, whoever. Yeah. Wow, what a guy. Sure makes me want to help him. I'm sold. I'll have what he's having. And there's a map fragment here, but nearby I just don't... Well, there's also a crystal tier, so... Would that be worth it? Probably. I don't remember which one it is. But that's not what I want to do right now. And we don't really need the map info. Did I not grab the map info over here? I guess not. Okay. So another thing we should probably do right about now is go grab the Twin Blade. Which I meant to do, but I just forgot about it until just now. But yeah, it's one of those early game things I pretty much always grab. Again, not really gonna have the stats for it quite yet. But I'm kinda just wanted to show you guys how to kind of get started as easily as possible without even really having to fight anything. Can you not do that? Thank you. And I believe it's the second building right here. But you actually do need Torrent to get over. the wall because there's no way in here. Outside of that, maybe like some Ash of War, but at the beginning of the game when you don't have, I forget which one it is, like the stomp or whatever, the butt stomp, the like gluteal slam or something. Yeah, is there anything else? To the south. Not anything that's super important right now. So I'm just gonna go to Gatefront because we're gonna get a couple. Let's see, one golden seed and probably go the round table hold. Again, it would be beneficial to take out more of the Godric soldiers. That's what they're called. Those guys. But yeah, I don't want to farm for items right now, so... Partially because I'm trying to make good time in this video, so I'm not going to be stopping to grab things. Or stopping to farm for things, I'd say. Just gonna hit that real quick. I mean, I'm not even going to fight anything right now. Stone Sword keys are very nice, because if you purchase them, which you can... Actually, wait, no, I said I wasn't going to fight anything. My bad, my bees. Anyway, oh, whoops. Instead of going through the castle gate, if you just go under the archway to the right, and you can kind of see there used to be a road going this way. There's one of the Finger Maidens, a Finger Reader Crones, actually, I think is what they're called. And a cookbook, yep. However, the cookbooks are not going to be applicable to this run because, in case you guys are unfamiliar, you can only start crafting items once you get the crafting kit from Kale. Which is part of the reason I brought up the thing with Kale earlier, but realized I didn't really explain what that meant. Because that is definitely one of the most universally recommended things, like on a, to somebody playing the game on a new character. It's like, yeah, get the crafting kit, 100%. Always want to do that. Okay. So there's another... I am going to hit up that site of grace in a sec, but before I do that, I'm going to go over here and grab, I think, another sacred tier? Yeah. And actually, as long as we don't rest at the site of grace, we're not going to go to the round table hold. So, well, there's no reason to not do it right now. So, this is one of the other sites of grace where Melina will show up and then tell you, hey,
forgive me.
Just kidding.
I've been testing you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It seems torrent, whereas there is, but I can take gathering. Very well. Let my hand.
Yeah, which is actually required, because I tried doing a run a while ago where I was like, because I was talking to a friend where we're saying like, hey, do you actually have to use any of the sites of grace in this game? Like, because like you get your sacred tears back when you beat bosses and like when you die and stuff.
You're no matter loud. You're
Sell. I'm just gonna sell. Actually, I'm not gonna sell any of these yet. Although we could. Yeah. Okay, so strength and armament, we have the twin blade, which requires 18 dexterity, which is not bad. Lord Sword straight sword is decent, but I recommend the twin blade because twin blades are dope in this game. Of course, I can only get it to a +1 right now, but need 18 dexterity. Okay. Charge flask. Yep. Golden seed. Increase amount. Yep. Sacred tear. Do that again. Yep. Uh-huh. And actually, let's also allocate because they don't have magic right now. Here we go. I guess I'll leave one for Ashes of War. Yeah. And then level up, go to Dexterity, which we can get all the way to 18. Perfect. Alright, and go to like facing cliffs, sure. Because there's a few more freebies I would recommend right at the beginning. And yeah, if I were to farm right now, which if I was doing this for real, I would actually do this. But since this is just a video kind of explaining the run, I'm not going to because there's a few other things I need to get to, and we only have like 5 minutes left. 7 minutes left. But yeah, those initial Godric guards at, where is it? The Church of Ella, just like on the road, like northeast. From there, there's like a group of 5 or 4 of them, and they're all kind of separated, and some of them are facing away from each other and stuff like that. So it's very easy to take them out individually. Grab that because I don't remember what it is. Cookbook. Okay. Yeah, you can. They can drop all the pieces of their armor set, which is pretty decent armor set, as well as the Lord Sworn straight sword item. Now, it's a very decent sword. Dual wielding straight swords is actually very viable in this game. I've done a full playthrough of just straight swords, and it's a good option. I will say that it is a good option. Just gonna kind of draw them away here. There we go. Basically what I'm gonna do is just unlock this one so we have a fast travel point. And at that gazebo off to the left, there is a warp gate. And yeah, I didn't do that very quickly, but you got plenty of time. Yeah, a bunch of enemies pop up, but they take a while to start actually attacking you. So, first thing here, can't obviously get through the gate, but Renola is pretty easy to take out if you have, if you're basically doing a run that, if your early build is mostly like strength and dexterity based, which is pretty simple. If you just jump to that, you won't take any damage. Either you or Torrent. And they have a large graveyard just here to the west of the Academy entrance. As long as you're on Torrent, it's pretty easy to avoid those magic bullets. Just gonna grab all of these. Oh, come on, really? It's because the stupid flower. Alright, well, there's only like 2 left, maybe 3. There was a Stake America there? Stake of America. The graveyard? Oh. Damn it, the side of Grace is actually closer. Alright. There's unfortunate. Okay. But yeah, there's a couple other things I would recommend. But, mostly getting all the free runes you can right at the beginning of the game. Don't know why that dealt damage, but fine. Oh, those are my runes. Okay, and that's all of them. I believe there's a smithing stone 2 in here. Yep. And I just want to get the academy key, basically, and get a fast travel point over here. And as soon as you get a projectile weapon, there's a bunch of balloons like across the lake that drop, I think, Golden Rune 6? Trying to see if I can spot one real quick. Nope. And for exploration as well, there's another very, very useful free item up here. Oh, there's a couple actually, but on this road. Whoa. They're pissed. But yeah, the jellyfish shield used to be incredibly OP and broken, and then they fixed it. It's still very good though. Yeah, I mean, rune arcs are fine. I never use them personally, but you know, can if you want to. To each their own. The treasure in that caravan is also decently good. It's like the Carrion Straight Sword, something rather. Oh, those are the balloons, by the way. Those things right there. And if you want a projectile early in the game without having to buy one, I'm actually not entirely sure. First one is, I'm trying to think of where you get like a bow for free or something. I guess there's the crossbow in the what you call it, the round table hold. But that one requires like 2 stone sword keys, I think. So that's probably not right. Yeah, there's the other map right here. Not sure why the frame rate's taking a hit. That's weird. So I'm running the PS4 version on the PS5. It's typically rock solid, but I mean, you could go through Carrion Manor and get the Loretta's Great Bow spell. That's a really good projectile. It's not the easiest fight, but it is technically obtainable pretty early, so that was worth mentioning. I know there's a couple of free spells, like, fairly early. I guess just partially through... Jeez, can you stop that? Carrion Royal Manor, there's the Sword of Night and Flame. That's pretty easy to get. However, it's pretty likely you won't have the stat requirements for it for a little bit. I'm trying to remember where this thing is. It's, yeah, going the right way. That really hurt. But yeah, I'd highly recommend getting some armor before attempting this. Like, as you can see, it's not like that difficult, but yeah, there's a hidden scarab here. Oh, I missed it. Kind of just goes around the pond here. Ah, jeez, that's close. And honestly, I can't remember the pattern exactly, but around here? Ah, jeez. Okay, and then it goes around. There we go. And that's Hoarfrost Stomp, which I think you can apply to any armament, if I remember correctly. In case you guys are unfamiliar with where to get the Sword of Night and Flame, I guess I'll just also show that real quick. Because it is one of the legendary armaments, it is very good, and it is technically obtainable very early. Plus, I think there's actually another stone sword key in here. Oh yeah, you can't call Torrent. My Palamute's name in Monster Hunter Rise is Corrin, so it's kind of what I was thinking of real quick. Whoops, ouch, that's not it. Yeah, this is a bad situation. Yep. Yeah, without armor, they hit really hard. Honestly, I should have kept running. But I couldn't remember if it was that initial one where the stone sword key was, or like the next fountain. I guess it's the next fountain. Thought it was that one, but nope. Yeah, as long as you stay sprinting, you're usually good, so... Oops. Of course, if there's enemies nearby, you might be using stamina. Is it not here? Oh, okay. It's not here, I guess. Alright. I think this is it's either a rune or smithing stone. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the Carrion Royal Manor has some really good stuff. And like I said, Loretta's Great Bow being one of them. And I think in a patch, actually, they reduced the level requirement for that spell. A bunch of spells actually got reduced level requirements, you know, since launch, but yeah, it's right down here. So you see that little ledge, little break in the wall, just jump it. Won't take damage. Jump again. Won't take damage. Walk down here. You won't take damage very much. Now you won't take damage. And in this chest. There we go. Which is a very, very good weapon. However, whew, it has a 12 requirement on strength and dexterity, which is not bad, but it has a 20... Is that a 4? 24 on intelligence and faith. So you would need a solid 14 points in both. So from your initial points, you would need 30 levels. Yeah. But the glintstone staff I picked up only requires 10 intelligence and 6 strength, so even as a wretch you can start using that immediately, which is pretty good. And later, when you do have the stats for it, you can use that. But, yeah, Hoarfrost Stomp is very, very helpful. Anyway, from the entrance of the Ray Lucaria Academy, there are a few things you can grab that are very, very good. Of course, since I already grabbed the key from behind the dragon, you can just go on in. And there's another golden seed on the bridge. And you can take another teleporter to the north end of the now ruined Academy Bridge. And we still haven't fought a boss yet, so pretty cool. Yeah, let's just keep riding for a bit. Here. Grab a golden seed, good stuff. And ride back. I mean, either ride back or fast travel back, doesn't really matter. It's really close, so. And ordinarily, I would make a little bit more progress into the academy to get the magic glintstone wet blade, I think is what it's called. The one where you can add frost affinity to weapons via Ashes of War. However, I think Hoarfrost Stomp adds cold affinity by default, if I remember correctly, which I'm not sure if I do or not. So let's add a charge of the flask, yep. And then go into Ashes of War, and then, yep, Hoarfrost Stomp. And it does automatically do the cold affinity. That's great. Okay, so that's a way to get cold affinity without actually having to acquire that. But that's only because I'm applying this particular Ash of War. Any other Ash of War that's not already cold affinity by default is not going to be available. So, but yeah, cold affinity is great because frostbite is really, really helpful. And it also scales with intelligence, so if you build your characters typically like how I play the game, where it's a bit of a physical magic mix, focusing on inflicting frostbite and then increased damage because of frostbite, it's very, very helpful. So, especially with twin blades, especially if you have 2 twin blades. But, yeah, and then it's just a short ride north. Here, there is another night cavalry guy here during the night, but it's morning, so we are totally good. I'd recommend riding to the left a little bit. That was a free rune. I'm gonna grab that. And then just kind of north, kind of straight north, kind of the side of this ruined hill. And then there's a gap right here to the left of the building. And then jump that, and then go towards this mostly ruined building. You can jump the corner, I believe. Yep. Bellum Church. And we have another Sacred Tear. Very, very helpful. There we go. Okay, let's go to flasks and increase amount replenished. Bam, bam. There we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So from here, there's a lot of different options. You could just go through here, up through the ravine, get a bunch of other runes and smithing stones and that sort of thing, and get to the Altus Plateau early without needing the Dectus Medallion. You could go through the Academy, of course, since that's open now. Could go over here to get, I think it's Double Slash on this little path right here. Kind of follow towards the Minor Erd Tree and then stick to the right. It's either Double Slash or Swords Dance. I think it's Swords Dance, actually. Could go to the village of the Albinorics, which is right over there. Could easily go to Stormvale. Could go to the Carrion Study Hall to get the Carrion Glintblade Staff or Glintstone Staff. It's one of the two. It's a really good one. Could go east from Stormhill Shack to take out Bernal to get his armor set. It's very good. However, later in the game, he's very helpful against the Godskin duo. So if you want to hold off on that, so you can summon him for that boss fight, I totally get it. Other things. Yeah, as far as an early projectile, actually, I'm somewhat at a loss. I don't quite remember. I'm sure there's one in Stormvale somewhere. In other circumstances, you could just buy Stormblade from Bernal, but again, you can't really do that with these restrictions. Trying to remember. I'm sure there's an early game one that's obvious that I'm not remembering right now. The other... What's the other one? Stormhill Shack, right? That is another golden seed. Or if you talk to Rodrika and then she goes to the Round Table Hold and then you go back to Stormhill Shack, she leaves a golden seed behind. Man, I'm really racking my brain here, trying to remember. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually played a full playthrough of this game, so... The, yeah, as far as an early game projectile, I guess a crossbow. And I don't remember if any of those guys... Here's the I'll at least show you guys the grinding for drops from the soldiers path I would do. I kind of showed you guys earlier, but I didn't clarify, hey, this is the grinding path. Yeah, so if you want to get fully equipped, get some swords, get some armor, just fight these guys a couple times. Like, either way, if you want to use the Twin Blade, if you want to just use the club like I did initially when I didn't have anything, they're both solid methods. Of course, I'm not dropping anything now, because that would be helpful to solidify my points. Oh yeah, I put Hoarfrost Stomp on instead. That's right. I remember. You can also backstab him if you want to. There's an unaware bonus. Just getting bolts on enemies as well, so not just the backstab, but just like a jump. Strong attack will, you know, pretty easily take him out. Or very close to. And of course he doesn't want to do it. But yeah, just Church of Ella over and over again. If you don't want to fast travel back, that can trigger Ranny to show up sometimes. If it's nighttime, I think I've already passed the point. Actually, I don't know if she'll show up anymore because I already went to the Carrion Royal Manor. Oh, why is he way up there? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Hoarfrost Stomp is very helpful. It's not as broken as it used to be. It used to be, yeah, incredibly broken. But it's still very useful for inflicting frostbite and just kind of taking care of an area of enemies. It also, when the crystals kind of shatter like that, the ice crystals, it usually does a pretty good amount of like posture damage, like stagger, whatever you want to call it. Poise damage, I guess, is the technical term. Of course these guys aren't dropping anything. Like, they don't drop any equipment. Unless I was like talking over it and I didn't realize that they dropped something. No. And we're almost at an hour. Cool. Alright. Well, screw it. Since I'm already over the time that I said earlier, I'm just going to keep going until I get a piece of armor. So I don't look like a liar. Yeah, I swear, typically this is a good method of getting early game armor. Of course, maybe the game's punishing me because I've already done, like, exploration. It's like, oh, you're coming back here? Shh. Yeah, don't give him anything. Which, since it's a FromSoft game, I would not be surprised if there was something like that in play. Thank you. Bolts, great. Thanks, I have plenty of those. I don't need more. Oh my goodness, dude. Just one of you guys? Can you just naked over here, right? How dare you? Seriously, nothing. Jeez. Wow. Just wow. I'm actually just gonna fast travel back to the Church of Ella a couple times to see if Ranny does show up. I have a feeling since I've already been to Carrion Royal Manor, she's not going to, but it's you know, it's kind of just an assumption I'm making. Thank you. Actually, the best armor drop from these guys. The surcoat. Excellent. Alright. So yeah, that's it, guys. Whoops. That's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully one of these guys is gonna drop the straight sword so I can show you that. Nope. Nothing. And more bolts. Great. Alright. Alright, while I'm at it, I'm gonna go back to the Table of Lost Grace and see if it is indeed 2 stone sword keys. Or Wait, new items available? Why? Because I screwed up my chance to meet Ranny? The normal way? Probably? Maybe? Anyway, I'll show you at least, guys, where it is. So if you go downstairs, turn around, you see this little thing, and you're like, wow, what's this? Yep, use the stone sword key. I really have to urinate. It's lost with use, of course. There's another one right here. I don't know if I can open it. Nope. Oh. So it's one. Just one stone sword key. Well then, that would make this the best early game projectile. And the only requirement is 16 dex and 14 strength. So, it's a bit higher than what I expected. But it is a good crossbow. Not gonna lie. So, plus, I mean, you did see how frequently I was getting bolts there. The range on it is not bad, 47. That's actually quite good for a crossbow. It's a decent crossbow. It's really not bad at all. And, yeah, I thought it was 2 stone sword keys. Alright, look at that thing. That thing is huge. Wow. Okay.
Well, I took you for no matter.
Let's see. So I got the thing. I got enough runes. I'm just gonna sell the rune art because I never use these, or these, or these, or these, or this, or these, or these, or these, or these, or this. All right. Now we have 11,117. Okay, that actually probably is enough to get strength to 14. So, level up. Or, yep, sure is. And dexterity I could do, wow, 4 more levels. Okay. I'm going to start putting points into intelligence, because also with the Carrion Royal Manor is Carrion Piercer, which is a very good spell, by the way. And, there's a few other spells around the Academy of Raya Lucaria that are very much worthwhile. I would say incredibly worthwhile. Like just to the east of the school, there's a death bird that's... You can technically exploit a glitch to insta-kill. However, if you want to fight him legit, it's not that difficult. And he drops Ancient Death Rancor, I believe. That is a very, very good spell. And I'm actually not too familiar with how many spells you can get just without purchasing them from anybody, because most of the spells in the game are acquired by vendors. So, yeah, a little bit problem there. But, if we go to the foot of the 4 belfries, I'm sure I could show you guys real quick. The balloon things for getting a bunch of runes really quickly. They are guarded poorly, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna go the dangerous route because I'm gonna be riding past a bunch of lobsters. Because I don't remember where the first one is, but as long as you kind of stick to the left, most of them won't wake up. Most of them are sleeping. Or just, you know, minding their own business. Plus there's actually another graveyard over here where you can get a bunch of free runes, so... It's a bit trickier because this one's actually guarded a bit better, but... Just kind of wanted to show you guys some of the free rune spots in the game that can be accessed very early. I'm trying to find this graveyard. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, so we got Golden Rune 2, that's not bad. Golden Rune 1, Golden Rune 3. Golden 3. 1. 5. That's nice. 3. 2. 3. Another 3. 4. Another 2. Yeah, and a 4. Okay. And to the right here, this is where I saw some of the balloons. There's one of them. They do have marionettes that drop as soon as you get close, but you can actually fire from torrent. But bam, instantly. So, don't even have to fight him. And yeah, Golden Rune 6. Those are quite a bit more valuable. So yeah, if you want to get some early levels without really fighting anything, very easy method. Trying to remember if there's anything else around here. As far as free runes go, no. There's one of those walking mausoleums over here, but I wouldn't recommend it from this level. That one. It's kind of easier to go up from here and then get down. However, there is also a cave, which I think is the first bell bearing for the smithing stones, 1 and 2. I could be wrong. Yep, there it is. Alright, and on the way down there should be a couple of free things. I guess it's just cracked crystal on this one. Personally, I don't use these, but they do sell for a good amount of cash. So, if you want to do that, easy recommendation, and you can always just like kind of roll down the outside in like typically clockwise fashion. There'll usually be a series of platforms you can use to get down safely. And there you go. So just to show you guys the value, I guess, of these, because... Huh? Really? Alright, well, whatever. I can just use them. It doesn't matter. So Golden Rune 6, right? They're worth 2,000 apiece. Each. So even just those 5 that I grabbed. 10,000 runes. Which at the early game, so valuable. Then like 5 of these, like, you just get so many runes. Like, free, easy, don't have to exploit any kind of glitch, nothing. Just 16 grand, didn't even use all of them. So, yeah, like, HP, intelligence, depending on what you want to go with. With the cold, affinity, intelligence is going to be a big big help in here. However, it's not going to come into play till a little bit later, but the staff I was recommending earlier from the Carrion Study Hall does require, I think, 24 intelligence. So getting access to some of those spells, some of those tools early, it's very helpful, especially since, yeah, bolts will be fine in the early game. In the late game, you might want, a powerful, like, reusable projectile. And yeah, of course, like, any kind of weapon, doesn't really matter what you use. Yeah, there's quite a few other things that I would recommend, especially if you're willing to go out of your way for a little bit. There's quite a few things on the Altus Plateau that technically you can get very early. The only enemy you'd have to kill is Magma Worm, or boss you'd have to kill is Magma Worm Makar. And he can actually be taken care of pretty easily with any weapon and Hoarfrost Stomp, which was one of the reasons I recommended it, because he's a large target. You can use that on him, inflict frostbite very quickly, and then just take him out with whatever. Just keep hitting him with swords or twin blades, or doesn't even matter, honestly, at that point. But anyway, thank you all for being here, guys. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what you thought about this one. Did you try the run out for yourself? Did you try to, kind of speed run with these rules? What was your time? Do you have any questions about the run and game progress in this format in general? Let me know. I will be as thorough as I can with the answers for all legit questions. And yeah. So, yeah, before we get going, of course, a very special thank you going out to the current Farts and Crap Show members, which at the time of recording is Navas Draconis. And if you want to be incredibly awesome, support the show a bit more directly, and get in on all those membership benefits like Navas Draconis, then check out the join button down below. Tier start at $3 a month. It's only 10 cents a day. Gets you into all the basic stuff, including getting to vote in the series that get made right here on this channel. So if you guys do want to do that, check out the membership tab. You'll see the previous members' choice polls. We might still have one active right now, actually, depending on when this video goes out. We are going to be running one the second week of June, going into some of the mid-June. It'll probably be the second week of June. So, yeah. But keep an eye on the community tab. I'll let you guys know when it's posted. And, yeah, till next time, take care, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.